Hello guys, and welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, then don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you don't have to miss on any of our interesting videos. Give our videos a thumbs up if you like our content, and be part of the commenters squad by sharing your thoughts in the comment section down below. Now, I welcome you to a wake-up call for the 71% of palm color people who voted for Trump. In this video, we're going to hear from palm color people who are speaking out against the destructive policies of the Trump administration. Now, they're reminding their fellow palm color Americans that they really effed up by supporting a president who is leading the country down a path of economic ruin. As one man in the video points out, Trump's tariffs are a recipe for disaster. By imposing tariffs on multiple countries, including a 100% tariff on 5 countries and a 25% tariff on Canada and Mexico, Trump is setting the stage for higher inflation and a potential recession. Every time you fill up your gas tank or go to the grocery store, you will be feeling the pinch of Trump's reckless economic policies. But it's not just about the economy. Trump's policies are also hurting American families, workers, and the environment. From his attacks on healthcare and social security to his denial of climate change, Trump is putting the interests of corporations and the wealthy above those of the American people. So let's listen to what these palm color people have to say about why America is going to fail under Trump. I will be right back.
All right, Trumpers, come and get me. Listen, here's why America is going to fail under Donald Trump. First and foremost, he's putting these tariffs out everywhere, which is going to hurt our economy. First and foremost. Also, he's wanting to put more tariffs on 5 other countries of 100% tariffs, not including the 25% he's wanting to put on Canada and Mexico. All that's going to do is shoot up our inflation every time you go to the gas pump or the grocery store. And if you don't know nothing about tariffs, I would guarantee you need to go check it out because he's going to destroy this country over it. Number 2, all the chaos that he's already provoked in this world, okay? This has been a mess. It's been a disaster ever since he took office. His tax plan is garbage. It's to help the rich and continue hurting middle-class working Americans, union workers, truck drivers, etc. So I'm telling you guys, if you look at his economic plan, he's going to crash this economy. And we're probably going to go into a recession. He's going to blame it on Joe Biden to put the blame off on him. And at the end of the day, it's going to be Donald Trump who fails this country.
Hey, Bessie. So now that Trump is elected, we're about to head into a recession. So just buckle up, and here's what you need to know. And if you guys are new here, I'm Theonie the Lender. I've been a lender for 9 years now, and I help people every single day buy and refinance a house. Okay, so here's what's been going on. The last couple of months have been absolutely insanity with these mortgage rates. They were literally at the lowest level that we've seen in 2 years back in August, and then they spiked right back into the 7s a couple weeks ago. So what's been happening is that there's all these data reports that are coming out showing a really strong economy, and the stronger the economy, the higher these rates go. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, like, Theonie, what freaking strong economy? And I'm with you on that. There are people that are making the most amount of money that they have ever made and still cannot buy groceries and are still just living paycheck to paycheck. And the idea of buying a house to them is like so far out of reach. So here's what's about to happen. All these reports that have been coming out showing a really strong economy, I think it's because we were in election year. And so every report that was coming out was trying to showcase a better economy than it really was. For example, the jobs report a couple months back showed that we added so many jobs, but they didn't account that most of those jobs were part-time jobs. They were in addition to people's full-time jobs. However, the economists only saw this as, oh, we added more jobs, so now we have a super strong economy. We're about to see reports come out showing the actual levels of unemployment. And as these things get worse, as unemployment rises and people start to lose their jobs and the economy does actually weaken because it is not as strong as it's depicted, the interest rates will go back down for housing. And now that Trump has entered office, they're going to try to blame it on him, and they're going to full on focus on this terrible, bad economy and this huge recession that we've already been in, but nobody's said that yet. They're going to highlight that, making the mortgage rates drop. So this is good news if you are in the market to buy a house in the next 12 to 24 months. But things are going to get worse and sound a lot worse because the real reports were making it seem like we were in a stronger economy than we really were. So if you're looking to buy a house in the next 12 months, this is a very crucial time to get ready and just make sure that you have all your ducks in a row, because once those rates start dropping again, there's going to be so many more people that can afford that same house that you're looking at today at no competition. You're going to have competition, which is going to drive the housing prices right back up. And I am accepting new clients for next year, so head over to the link in my bio to get started and follow me along for more mortgage tips.
Trump will bring on a recession the second he takes power. You need to understand something. Economic news has not been getting reported the way that it should for the past 3.5 years. We are not okay, and it's about to all be blamed on him. Understand that I support Trump. I voted for Trump. But things are about to sound very scary. We of the American people have not been hearing true economic news. I'll give you an example. In 2022, we had more banks close as far as the size of them than what happened in 2008, but it didn't get reported that way. Now, when I say we're heading into a recession, a lot of you will say, well, man, things are already bad. Grocery prices are already high. Rent prices are already high. I get that. That's inflation. Trump's a deflationary president, which is why I would say right now, I would not buy a home. I would not buy a car. I would not buy a boat. I would not buy anything. I would wait. Things are going to sound very scary. They already should sound very scary, but they haven't because the news has not been reporting against Bidenomics. They're going to blame it all on Trump. He'll be able to handle it, but it's going to sound scary for a bit. With his deflation, things are going to drop. Home prices are going to drop. Many things are going to drop. We're going to be in a much better scenario. Just understand through that, there's going to be some job loss and some other things that are going to happen. So between now and then, things are going to sound a little bit different. They're going to sound as they should have for the past 3.5 years, and they're going to try to blame it all on him.
So let me get this straight. Republicans voted for Trump because they wanted to lower prices, yet Trump has admitted twice already that prices might go up once he's president. That sure sounds a lot different than the Trump I heard on the campaign trail, who said at every single rally that prices were going down on day one or even before day one. Well, it's before day one, and just like we tried to warn you all, not only is Trump signaling that he's not able to lower prices, but the writing is on the wall for prices to actually skyrocket, thanks in no small part to his irresponsible trade tensions he's creating with both Mexico and Canada. So not only is he not bringing prices down, he's actually setting the table to make things like produce, cars, and gasoline more expensive. If you don't understand what I'm talking about, we import oil from Canada used to make gas, and a lot of our cars and produce are made in Mexico. Republicans were tricked into thinking that Trump was going to help the economy. Instead, he hijacked the working class vote and is only going to make life more expensive for American families. Everyone, thank a Republican in your life for allowing this to happen.
The Matrix is failing. The Matrix is failing. The Matrix of control is failing. You see it. Meta is down, trying to get rid of TikTok. Facebook, Instagram, Messenger, they're down. TikTok is not going anywhere. It's too big to fail. Remember whenever C-19 was going on and they said, oh, these businesses are too big to fail. We got to funnel your tax dollars into these big businesses. And now all of a sudden a CEO is unalived on the street. And we know more about Luigi Mangione than we do Weinstein, Epstein Island, and Diddy. Where's those lists? Where's the damn lists at? We've been talking about open the shipping containers for a while. That got silenced real quick. That's not coming across my feed anymore. We've got drones from a mothership launched from Iran, but yet we're not doing anything. That's not a security risk, is it? TikTok is a security risk here, folks. We had a congressional just not too long ago about aliens living in the sea. Well, if they're there and they've been there longer than we have, who are the aliens? They're not aliens. Mothership over the Atlantic near New Jersey, and we're just doing nothing about it. The Matrix is falling.
Now, H.L. Mencken, the late American journalist, famously wrote that democracy is the theory that the common people know what they want and deserve to get it good and hard. Now, following Donald Trump's victory in this year's election, the average person will soon learn what Mencken meant. If Mr. Trump implements the economic program that he outlined on the campaign trail, the economy will be in for some very rough sledding over the next 4 years. Let's start with Mr. Trump's budget policy, which will put America's public debt on a truly unsustainable path. If there is one thing Mr. Trump promised on the campaign trail, it was a slew of tax cuts. Among other things, he promised to extend the 2017 Tax Cut and Jobs Act, reduce the corporate tax rate from 21% to 15%, and eliminate taxes on Social Security benefits. With possible Republican control of both houses of Congress, Mr. Trump will have little difficulty in securing passage of his aggressive tax cut program. Now, even before Mr. Trump's electoral victory, the Congressional Budget Office (CBO) was warning that the country was on a dangerously unsustainable public debt path. On present policies, the budget deficit was expected to remain at around 6% of GDP for many years to come. at the same time, by 2034, the public debt to GDP ratio was projected to exceed 120% of GDP. That would put the government's debt at a higher level in relation to income than was the case immediately after the Second World War. Now, Mr. Trump's budget proposals would make an already dangerous public debt situation considerably worse. According to the Committee for a Responsible Budget, over the decade ahead, Mr. Trump's tax cut proposals would add $7.75 trillion to the national debt. That would take the public debt to GDP ratio to an unprecedented 143% by 2035. Now, one of America's economic vulnerabilities is that foreign governments, including the Chinese central bank, own a large part of America's debt and help finance large budget deficits. Now, this raises the real possibility that America could see the return of the bond vigilantes and experience a dollar crisis. Unless America soon corrects its profligate ways at some point, America must expect bondholders to demand higher interest rates on their bond holdings to compensate them for the risk of a renewed inflation surge. Higher interest rates in return would add further pressure to the government's budget and make public finances all the more unsustainable. Now, another central plank of Mr. Trump's economic plan would be to resort to import tariffs on a massive scale. He would levy a 60% tariff on all imports from China and a 10 to 20% tariff on all imports from the rest of America's trade partners. Now, the purported purpose of these tariffs was to bring manufacturing jobs home and to reduce trade deficit. Never mind that the expected ballooning of the budget deficit would almost certainly result in a widening of the trade deficit. It would do so as a result of saving level falling even more short of our investment level than it did before. Now, one of the major drawbacks of massive resort to tariffs is that they will substantially raise import prices. That will hit the common man hard in the pocket and will add to inflation. Now, according to the Peterson Institute of International Economics, Mr. Trump's tariff proposal will cost a typical U.S. household in the middle income distribution around $2,600 a year. Another major drawback of an America First program is that it could tip an already weak Chinese and European economy into recession. It could also invite trade policy retaliation by China and Europe in the form of higher tariffs on American imports. That in turn could take America down the economically destructive beggar thy neighbor policies of the 1930s. Now, as if all this were not enough reason for concern about the economic outlook, Mr. Trump has promised to deport up to 11 million undocumented migrants. If such a program was implemented, it would almost certainly put upward pressure on food prices and cause production disruptions in those industries employing large numbers of immigrant workers. Now, the best people can hope for economically in a second Trump administration is that Trump walks back many of the economic proposals he made on the campaign trail. If not, then people should brace themselves for the eventual return of the bond vigilantes, a flight from the US dollar, and some very rough economic slading ahead. We have finally come to the end of the video, but what do you, my viewers, have to say? Share your thoughts in the comment section. Thank you for always watching and see you in our next video.